are Lazarus. You are the dry bones. You are the prodigal son. You are the lost sheep. You are the people about whom the Bible is speaking, who will stand up in the last day when the trumpet is sounded. Black people are waking up. Black people are standing up. Black people are rising up, and they're throwing sight into that knee-shaking white man.
I keep on having visions that they put me in the auction, a runaway slave till they put me in the coffin. Tears in my eyes with a noose around my neck, screaming Kwam Yasharala right before my last breath. I can't believe my eyes, cause I'm seeing life distorted. The prince is in chains while the servants drive Porsches. He ain't want the baby, so she had an abortion. Grown men walking around in women's clothes in the door. Zion is acting like whores. Remove this cup for me, cause I can't take this shit no more. 1611 got a sharpen up my sword. Living in the third day, it's gonna be a holy war. Lope up at my table in the presence of my enemies. Talk behind my back, but they don't keep that same energy. Tell me how you real, but you got them fake tendencies. Manipulating scriptures, you ain't nothing but a Pharisee. Got me suicidal, cause I can't tell my friends from my rivals. Gotta keep my rifle right next to my Bible. Father, please forgive me for my sins and wicked ways. I know I violated on that covenant we made. Picture in the day we see a solar eclipse and watch it how a shall walk over that water in Flint. Cause it's time for revenge, that's what I read in Revelations. And we don't want no money, we need blood reparations. Come.
I mean that, cause these white folks see us as thugs. I don't care what y'all think. I don't care if you think you a lawyer, if you a man, if you an African American, if you whatever you think you are. We thugs against these motherfuckers, you know? And until we lose it, I'ma call it like it is. I just wanna be a man and be strong, you know? And we you can walk outside different houses and a man and he's a motherfucker.
I'm not Turner on this beat, Dutty Butman flow. Oppression and poverty while you slay my people though. Y'all dirty pigs, gotta pay for what y'all did. Y'all fed the babies to gators, remember gator betas. I call it now and later because revenge is sweet. Y'all hung my fathers from the tree cause they look like me. Boy, letter to my dog, man, I ate a cold. Turn like cold, you could call them as I run on spoons. My scripture break his bones and then it make you strong. We study it for hours, this word ain't for no cowards. We building us for soldiers, it wake you up like Folgers. We prophesying wins, we looking for the wins. Cause we don't take no L's, we coming up from hell. My scriptures ain't for sale, my soul is never sold, and I will never fold. Woman on deodorant, fluoridated water. Children on the street, selling bodies for a quarter. Fringed up with my beard, mixture on my head. I look around, see a lot of spirits dead. I see the demons talking, I hear the spirits chirping. I see the spirits walking, I see my people hurting. You looking at the sons of the true and living God. Weak Edomites run the world, something nah. Teach my hands to fight, and please prepare my spirit. Banging for our power, until the people hear.
I sit alone in my four-corner room, staring at candles. No. Literally menorahs, all this OGs I see. Staying lit like the light of Zion, that's all I be on. Karash and Karatas are all a passion, eat them peons and make it look so damn good when we slide through. Can't see the shoes up under my garment, it's like we glide through. Really, shame in these shade face cavemen. Every other day we wake up Jake in different raiment. I'm just saying, boys hotter than corduroy in the Trans-Sahara. That knowledge come and walk by us, I guarantee we'll tell you. Not one word will ever fail you, all we do is prophesy. While your pastor eating pork chops and telling lies. I can tell by your mentality that you probably know. Ask you if you got it with fringes, you saying probably no. Obedience is better than sacrifice, so we stay on par. The same reason Zaquan Matata call me Basadar. You still don't get it? Better move boy, we them rude boys, ain't no bullshit. Repent or get your wig split. Hold the Torah open, let me show you what I stand on. Thinking we ain't keeping commandments, boy, you dead wrong. Back to the place where commandments can only get us what you talking about. Edomite witness, now you can't come with us. It's a closed party, only march to the eye. Yasha gon' enter there, 12 gates with no white people. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And it's a celebration. Salute to the light of Zion. Kwam Yasha Allah. 12 tribes of Yasha Allah. Be obedient to the Most High God. Keep the law, statutes, commandments. Keep the light of Zion burning bright. Kwam Yasha Allah. Isaiah 8:20, law, statutes, commandments, faith in the Messiah. Kwam.
Bashem Yahawashai. Bashem Yahawashai. True sides. Drawing the swords, hidden the bows, severing thumbs, and head toes, beheading getting kings. I said the times are old. Spoiling the women and children, silver and gold. The fishermen that put away the fishing poles. In very small numbers, your hours and forth as hunters. Strong towers they conquer. Over walls they jump. Over heads they stumped. Over heads they stumped. This is the hunt. This is the almighty power of revenge that make mighty men cower within. By his mighty hand we've been brought up out of this land. This is our exodus. Don't kill the messenger, just take the messages. Are you listening? Are you listening? This is our exodus. Don't kill the messenger, just take the messages. Are you listening? Open up your ears. This is our exodus. Don't kill the messenger, just take the messages.
NYMG, LOZ, AOI. Pay attention.
glorious new moon. Let's feed the children of Israel with some knowledge and understanding in this midweek wisdom class. Shalom Akim and Agwafium Laudanum to the live. Shalom to the Akim here in class. We about to touch on some scriptures again because we had did a class last week that the internet shut off on us. So I told a sister online or a brother online, I forget which one it was, we was going to go back over some of the scriptures we went over that day because the internet went off, our class didn't stop. We kept our class going and we brought up some good information. So I'm going to touch on some of them scriptures from last week, but then I'm going to also touch on brotherly love because it was a comment in one of the videos that talked about the commandment the most Mashiach Yahushua left us, talking about love people. And people holler out a lot of scriptures with no understanding. Same thing with John 3:16. People bring understandings to the scripture that they done got from Christianity that has nothing to do with these scriptures. So again, we're going to touch over some of the class of last week, then we're going to touch on a couple of scriptures dealing with brotherly love and what that means. So let's get started with the book of Colossians, chapter 3 and verse 17.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 3 and verse 17.
Huh.
And whatsoever ye do, in word or deed, do all in the name of the Adonai, Yahushua, giving thanks to the power and the Abba by him.
So whatever we're going to do in our words and our deeds, we always do it in the name of a Mashiach Yahushua, thanking the Adonai, the power that's in heaven, our Abba. So let's get started real with the class with Matthew chapter 24 and verse 3. Like I said, we're going to be touching on scriptures we touched on last week, but we're going to go in detail and try to get through some of these scriptures that the class probably cut out on. So let's get that started. Matthew chapter 24 and 3. Again, we're going over, the class last week was the signs of the end times. So we know we're entering into the end times, so what should we be looking for and what we should be doing? And part of that is dealing with brotherly love. So let's get started. Matthew 24 and 3.
Matthew chapter 24 and verse 3.
Come.
And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world?
So the disciples asked Yahushua two questions. What shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? So they asked him a twofold question here. So let's get started with 1 Thessalonians 5 and verse 1. Let's break this down precept upon precept so we get this understanding out there. Oh, past it. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 1. There we go. We're going to start at verse 1 and go through 9.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 1.
Come on, bring it out, King.
But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you.
Read that again.
But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you.
Now, why would Paul even say this? Why would he say, you have no need for me writing this unto you of the times and the seasons, meaning the end times? Keep reading.
For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Adonai so cometh as a thief in the night.
Come as what?
As a thief in the night.
And when a thief come, a thief don't let you know when it's coming. He don't. Now, mind you, he gave us signs to look for to let we know his time is approaching. But as we know, a thief comes mostly at nighttime when you're supposed to be at rest and you laying down. But keep reading.
Verse 3.
Uh-huh.
For when they shall say peace and safety.
So right when you think it's peace and it's safe for you to lie down, what?
Then
come.
Then sudden destruction cometh upon them.
Then what?
Sudden destruction cometh upon them.
So the people that's walking around in this world without the wisdom and the knowledge and the understanding of these scriptures, they think it's cool right now. They think the COVID is just a little bit. We're going back to what it used to be. It'll be gone. The masks won't last that long. They think it's going to be cool in a minute, but nope, sudden destruction is about to fall upon their head. What? He read. As travail.
As travail upon a woman with child.
Just as a woman is about to have her baby, only sign she get is the water breaking. And from that point, she don't know if the baby's going to be there in 5 minutes to 24 hours. That's a long period of time to be waiting. Keep reading.
And they shall and they shall not escape.
And nothing is going to escape. Nobody can escape from that thief that's coming in tonight. Keep reading.
But ye, brethren, are not in the darkness.
We're not in the darkness. What are we?
In the light.
No, keep reading.
that day should overtake you as a thief.
We're not in the darkness. That this was the when the Mashiach come, is going to overtake us. But what?
But
yeah, keep reading verse 5.
Ye are all the children of light,
and we are the children of the light, meaning we're the ones that follow the commandments of the Most High. Keep going.
And the children of the day.
Keep going.
We are not of the night, nor of the darkness.
We're not of the night, nor of the darkness, meaning we're not the ones that's out there committing wicked acts and evil acts. We keep the laws and the statutes of the Most High. Keep going.
Therefore, let us not sleep.
Let us not be forgetful about what's going on. Don't let us be stupid. Keep going.
As do others.
Yep.
But let us watch and be sober.
Let us what?
Watch and be sober.
So we got to watch. And in our watching, we also got to pray that we don't be caught up like everybody else. So let's get that precept real quick in Luke 21. Hold Thessalonians. We're going to grab Luke 21:38, I believe. No, 36. Luke 21:36.
Luke chapter 21 and verse 36.
Come.
Watch ye therefore.
And what?
And pray always.
And do what?
Pray always.
So we should be praying without ceasing. When we lay down, when we wake up, when we're in the bathroom, when we showering, driving down the street, we praying and praising the Most High. Keep reading.
That ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass.
And what?
And to stand before the Son of Man.
So the scriptures ain't slack on what you have to do. These scriptures go hand in hand with everything that's dealing with these scriptures. Come on, what you got, King? Isaiah 62:6. Let's see what that say. Isaiah 62:6. Boop. Yeah, 62:6. Let's get it.
Isaiah chapter 62 and verse 6.
Okay.
I have set watchmen upon thy walls.
The watchmen are the people you see standing out in the streets. Keep going.
O Jerusalem.
Yep.
Which shall never hold their peace day nor night.
We ain't going to be able to hold our peace because oppression make a wise man mad. So as the watchmen and we watching over the children of Israel, we can see the wickedness and the craziness that's going on. So we got to be watched day and night. And we also praying without ceasing. Keep reading for me, King.
Ye that make mention of the Most High, keep not silence.
Keep going. Yep.
Till he establish.
Till he what?
Establish.
Keep going.
Until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth.
And that's one of the things we need to pray for. We need to pray that Jerusalem, it will be made the praise of the whole earth. Jerusalem got to be put back in their kingdom so everything can be put back in its proper order. Israel is supposed to be the one showing the rest of the world how we should act towards one another, how we should treat one another, how the Most High look out for his people. But when we going off, guess what? The Most High can't get the praise now. He can't get that praise because we supposed to be the children of the light. Matthew 5:16. We done with Luke. Go to Matthew 5:16, but still hold Thessalonians for me.
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 16.
Okay.
Let your light so shine before men.
Let your what?
Light so shine before men.
That's why we are the children of the light. Keep reading.
That they may see your good works.
See our what?
that they may see your good works.
And people should be able to see our good works. Not just talking a good talk, but walking a good walk. Keep reading.
And glorify your Father which is in heaven.
And that's what people should be able to do, is to glorify the Father that's in heaven because of the children of Israel. Now let's go back to Thessalonians. I just want to touch on that real quick because we brought that out. Because Jerusalem is supposed to be set on top as the praise of the whole earth. We're in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 6. Con.
Therefore, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 6.
Yep.
Therefore, let us not sleep as do others.
But what?
But let us watch and be sober.
Keep reading.
For they that sleep, sleep in the night.
Yep. And what?
And they that be drunken are drunk in the night.
That means you're drunk on philosophies. You're asleep. You're slipping. You don't know what's going on right now. We can't be sleeping out here. We got to know what's going on. We got to understand what the times are. Keep reading.
Verse 8.
Yep.
But let us, who are of the day,
those that keep the commandments and what?
Be sober.
And be sober-minded.
Putting in the breastplate of faith and love.
We're going to put on the breastplate of faith and love. That means we're going to put on our protection that's going to protect our chest. Keep going.
And for an helmet, the hope of salvation.
And we also going to put our helmet on, meaning our minds are going to be correct. We understand what salvation is. Read verse 9 for me.
Verse 9. For the Most High hath not appointed us to wrath.
And he ain't appointed to us wrath. That's why we got to be watching, praying. That's what Luke was talking about. So we can be counted worthy to escape that wrath. Keep reading.
For the Most High hath not appointed us to wrath.
But what?
But to obtain salvation by our Adonai, Yahweh Mashiach.
And that's what we got to obtain salvation through him. We ain't going to get the salvation on our own. It's not because of the works we do that we're getting our salvation. It's because we're trying to make our election sure. It's because we out here putting in the work the Most High told us to do before we even came out the womb. It was already ordained that we will be doing this. And it's already ordained how long we're going to do this for. And we, the clay, we can't tell the potter what to do at any given time. Let's jump back to Matthew 24 and 4. Again, what should we be expecting for the end time? So it's just that one statement Christ made. You see how many scriptures you can touch on just by one statement that's getting ready? He ain't even make a statement yet. Let me see if it was written in red. I don't even think he even made a statement yet. I think the disciples made a statement on what shall we look for and what shall be the end. So because the disciples made a statement, you have to understand all that. Now let's see what Christ said. Verse 4.
Matthew chapter 24 and verse 4.
Yep.
And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you.
Pause. That's another thing. When you go through these scriptures, look at these punctuation points throughout the statements that's being made. Don't just read through it and act like, oh, nothing was just said. Take heed that no man deceive you. Colossians 2 and 8. What does that mean? Take heed. We all understand what that means, but we got to understand what it means. Take heed that no man deceive you. And this is just one quick precept. Go ahead.
Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8.
Con.
Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
Through what?
Philosophy and vain deceit.
Now, since time went through, I just happened to look at on my way leaving work. I ain't watching yet the thing with Nick Cannon and Professor Griff.
Yeah.
That's philosophy and vain deceit. Out of everything in that show, mind you, I didn't even watch it all yet. I didn't even finish watching it because Professor Griff started saying some off-the-wall type stuff.
Yep.
Some off-the-wall type stuff. The Bible's not real. Then people are imaginary. Moses is really Ramses. Some wild stuff he started going into.
Yeah.
We are gods, but yet we're gods. Huh? The Bible's not real, but yet you quoting stuff out of the Bible. What sense does that make? If the Bible is real, where would you even get that phrase from? Ye are gods.
Yep.
What would you don't even know what a God means. God means power. So when you see the word God, power, sometimes it might mean the Most High. That's why when we read our scriptures, We break it down according to the context of the scriptures. That word God can mean power. It can mean the Most High. That's what Yasharallah means. Israel, you are the prince of the power. So when you see the Allah, Yasharallah, Allah. So when the Muslims be talking about Allah, guess what they're saying? Power. That's all they're saying. Nothing else. But they think they're praising the Most High power of Israel. That's why I say the God of Israel. The power of Israel. So that's where that statement comes from. Ye are gods. But guess what? You're going to die like men. Because you didn't want to accept these laws, statutes, and commandments. Out of all that stuff they said on that there talk, what you want to call it, the podcast, Cannon's Classroom. Out of everything they said, the only thing they said really anti-Semitic. That's the only thing everybody focused on. That anti-Semitic statement he made. At the beginning, he didn't make the statement, but later on, he did make the statement. We're the Hebrews. But then you go back on it by saying, no, I'm not going. You sat with this man talking about, you ain't go back on what you said. But then later on, you talk about you going back on it, apologizing. Show me where Professor Griff apologized. You sat there and agreed with a lot of stuff he said. A lot of stuff he said you agreed with. I don't care about the Illuminati. We are really the illuminated ones. That's why we're this and that's why I do this. But yet on your Wild and Out show, you got your sisters on there degrading them. But ye are gods though. You're a god though, huh? This is what I'm saying. How can you go through all that? But this is what it means by philosophy and vain deceit. They're going to try to put some of the truth in the mix. Same thing with the serpent in the wilderness. I mean, the serpent with Adam and Eve. Surely you won't die. They had part of the truth, but then when you rephrase it, it's a lie now. No, you can eat it. Surely you won't die. Wait, huh? He told me not to eat it. Mind you, Eve wasn't even there during that conversation between the Most High and Adam. That's what I'm saying. You wasn't even there. You should have immediately said, hold on, Snake. Talk to Adam. He understands what you should be doing. He knew what to attack. The woman. Ain't nothing changed. Guess who the so-called white man attacked? The woman. It's in a book called The Willie Lynch Syndrome. The Willie Lynch Letter. Read it. Yep. This is how they know what's going on. Ain't nothing new up under the sun. We're back here on the globe again, going through the same stuff. You got a precept for me, King?
Yeah.
What you got?
It's regarding Nick Cannon bringing on the rabbi into his podcast and all that. He's trying to justify his position. He's trying to justify why he said that. Even he asked a whole bunch of different questions, even though he knew the answer to it. But during that whole conversation, the rabbi never really addressed what he was saying. I'm not even going to call him rabbi. The so-called Jewish guy, he was like, okay, you know what? I can't really answer that for you. Let me tell you a quick story. I'm going to disregard everything he asked. So
Don't pull it up. We're not about to give him no credit in here.
This is 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 9.
What does it say, King?
But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare.
Say that again?
But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare.
Keep going.
And into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition.
And that's what happens on Wild and Out. A lot of men get drowned out on that. Now you got the 95 South show. And a lot of people go to that. They had it down here in Broward. Give me $35. You can show up. We're going to get the arena. Now, how many of our people went there and they get fed? No knowledge of the Most High power.
God.
You paid $35 to listen to jokes. Now, mind you, Israel, we like to have fun. Even us that's in the truth, we have fun. We do stuff that's entertainment, but also try to glorify the Most High in the midst of what we doing. They got the rap battle scenes. You feel me? And all them rap battles that's going on out there on the different channels. We hear them. They pop up on our Facebook feeds and all this other stuff. Well, guess what? Israel's now putting together a rap battle. How about that? And we're going to put the battles together that deal with praising the Most High. We ain't going to be talking about beefing with each other like that, calling each other out. No, we're about to do this for fun for the children of Israel. So in the midst of our rap battle, guess what we can hear? Some righteous stuff being said. Some stuff that's going to give us some wisdom and knowledge. Open our understanding a little bit more dealing with these scriptures. On how it can, look, see that over there? Job 9:24, earth is given to the wicked. We about to set it off, and I ain't talking about Jada Pinkett. See how we do it? We can do that here in Israel too. That's one of the songs of LOZ Music Group, you feel me? King Kadash is on that lyric right there. And we got other artists. And we got other people that put together good music. We got sisters in here that put together good music that you can listen to and vibe to. So you don't have to be deceived by philosophy and vain deceit. Yeah, this stuff here. That has no bearing on nothing. And as the chief minister always say, we got 200 channels on TV and righteousness in the midst of it. Yep. Philosophy and vain deceit. They got this philosophies and vain deceit. All of them spit out their mouth. All of them. Then you got one in the midst. I ain't even gonna call them out, man. And a lot of them been on Wild and Out. Yep. I don't even understand that sometimes. When I found out who he was, I'm like, what the heck is he doing? This dude literally don't talk through his music. He makes sounds and gestures to the beat. Dave Chappelle did that one day. He said, I'm going to do this to the beat and let's see if it gets bought. I think Kevin Hart did the same foolishness too. Yep. It's wild, man. Let's get back to these scriptures, though. It's wild. Our people do some wild stuff. But let me say this, too. When you talk about the Jewish dude that Nick Cannon brought on a couple of weeks later, one of the things that I ain't even look at that. I probably looked at 4 minutes or 5 minutes of that. But when that Jewish dude did say something, he ain't say, oh, that's out of the Tanakh or the Torah. That boy said in the Talmud. Mm-hmm. Yep. The Talmud says, wait a minute, homeboy, you supposed to be a Jew. Yep. Why you ain't talking about Torah or Tanakh? Yep. Nick Cannon talking about the Bible, and you talking about the Talmud. Yep. That's oil and water. They don't mix. Don't mix at all. But that's philosophy and vain deceit. Colossians 2:8, one more time from the King.
Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8.
Uh-huh.
Beware lest any man spoil you.
Beware lest any man spoil you through what?
Through philosophy and vain deceit.
Philosophy and vain deceit. Wait, what is it? Ephesians 4:11. Let's get that one. I ain't bringing that out last time. Let me make sure that's it. I believe that's it, though. Ephesians 4:11. Is that it? That ain't it. I sent that to somebody. Philippians 4:11, I believe. I know it's 4:11. If I can't find it, we're just going to move on. What Philippians 4:11 say? You got it?
Yeah. It says, not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned.
Nah, that ain't it. Let's go back to Matthew 24:5 and think about it. It's a 4:11 scripture that deals with toss to and fro.
Matthew 2 and 5.
Yeah.
24. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 5.
Come.
For many shall come in my name.
Yep.
Saying, I am Hamashiach.
And what?
And shall deceive many.
And that's didn't happen. I think I brought it out last week where you got the dude in Miami-Dade talking about he's Christ. And talking about, let's deal with the 666. There's nothing wrong. You can tattoo the 666 on your body, but that don't even make sense. But our people fall for it.
Yep.
Ephesians 4:14. I was 3 verses away. Dyslexia ain't good for you. Ephesians 4:14. Grab that. Since he said the same thing in verse 5. And many shall deceive, and shall deceive many by saying they're Hamashiach Yahushua. And one of the people that deceived many is that so-called white Jesus.
Yep.
That deceived many people. The Mormons deceived many people. Read that for me, King. 4:14. Yeah.
Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 14.
Come.
That we henceforth be no more children.
Yep.
Tossed to and fro.
Tossed to and fro. But what?
And carried about with every wind of doctrine.
And that's what a lot of, not nationalities, but religion is. Different doctrines. And we used to have a poster in here, it's in the back though, with the Jehovah's Witness book they like to pass out, Awake. But yet on the front of that cover, you will see a black man in the middle of all these different religions. Now, why is that? All these different religions surrounding this man is every other nation of people. But have the black man in the middle. I doubt they even understood what they was doing. It was a June 18th issue of the Awake. I believe it was June 1980. Well, I think that was the date on the cover of it. And that's the wild part. You guys see if you can find it? See if you can find that for me as I keep going. The Jehovah's Witness book. It's a June copy in 1980. It had the black man in the middle, different nationality of people surrounding them, but each nationality had a different wind of doctrine form. This is a what you call it we used to go out to camp with. I don't know if you're gonna be able to find it, because I believe in the back we got a sign with that on it. Ash, see if you can look in the closet and see if you can find that sign. Yeah, toss to and fro. It got that written on there too.
Have a note. So on the same note, I was talking with one of my friends the other day about the Bible, and he subscribed to the whole Islam thing, and his understanding is that whoever Farrakhan, the one that didn't follow any of the laws, is the Hamashiach, but the scriptures say as soon as Hamashiach comes back, there's going to be death and destruction. He's going to be saving his people. But what has Farrakhan done at all for his people?
Nothing.
And
he believe he's Hamashiach Yahweh?
Yep.
Wow. Now, if that's not a doctrine,
toss to and fro.
If that's not a doctrine, I don't know what is. You really believe this man is the Christ? And read that again in verse 5. Did he say he was the Christ, or he just believed he was the Christ? That's crazy.
Word for word. Yep.
That's crazy, man.
Matthew chapter 24 and verse 5.
Come.
For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many.
Keep going.
And ye shall hear of wars.
Of wars. That shouldn't need no explanation. We explained it last week, but I'm going to just touch on it a little bit. We heard about different wars going on, but then we heard a rumor of a war. One of my ox told me I can't say it, but during the, how can I word it properly? During 9/11, a tragedy happened that hit the buildings, but then they had a war on that. They had a war on that word right there. You know, YouTube be blocking stuff, so I ain't gonna say the word this week. But they had a war on that. But mind you, you go over there, you killing people, but yet you have no understanding. No, don't put it up. Don't put it up. You have no understanding about what war is. Now you over there killing people that has nothing to do with this war. That's a rumor of a war. Because you can't even tell me what uniform these people wear. Every nation on the globe have an army, and these people have uniforms they wear. But if you killing people without a uniform on that walk around with regular clothes on, that's a rumor of a war. You're literally killing people now. That's called murder.
Okay.
But they don't want to touch on that. We bring that truth out. That's too hard to hear. But it's plain as day. You can see it. They make movies about it. Well, let's keep reading though, King.
Matthew?
Yeah, Matthew chapter 6.
Matthew chapter 24 and verse...
Yeah, verse 6.
Verse 6.
Come.
And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
Yep.
See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass.
Everything that happens must come to pass. Keep going.
But the end is not yet.
But the end is not yet.
For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom.
Yep.
And there shall be famines and pestilences,
yep,
and earthquakes in diverse places.
In diverse places, meaning in different places, you're going to see these different things going on. Now he went over, and there shall be famines and pestilence. That's it right there. That's it right there. You got that on camera? They can see it? Boom. Now, if you pay attention, this is a black man right here. In the midst of it, you got Hindu, Catholic, Buddha, Christian, Jewish man. You see that? Tossed to and fro, and that's what we got it at. Tossed to and fro with every wind of doctrine. Black man in the middle. What's the date on that?
August 1st, 2009.
Oh, 2009, Salaki. We got another one that say June 1980 about a different poster. But this one here, this is the one I was talking about. Black man in the middle. How can you get a pestilence though? And that same pestilence, we call it today COVID-19. That same pestilence, we call it Ebola, SARS, and all these different diseases, that's man-made. You don't have the cure for the common cold, but yet you want to shoot me with a needle talking about this is a vaccine for this. That don't even make sense. Yep. You want to shoot me with a needle, not knowing. We tried that before. They called it the Tuskegee experiments. Didn't work. But you shot all them black men up with syphilis. Yep. And you just put it in our community and sat back and wrote and seen what happened. Same things with the father of what's the sisters they deal with their private part, what that's called? Gynecology. There you go. Gynecology. And they say when you deal in that field, and that's dealing in nursing and medical period, you have to talk about this dude. And he tells you off rip, it is known, this is in the book, he did all his experiments on black women. So as a black woman, you should understand that this doctor here played around with y'all. I'm going to cut your whole body part out and sit down and experiment on it. Run different tests on it. Just so I can go to my woman now and make sure she's healthy and fine. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And they treat our people like nothing. But this is the things Nick Cannon can literally, you don't have to just make a statement. You can literally bring books and stuff to look, here's the facts. You can't now blame me for being anything. You can't say I'm anti-Semitic when I'm telling you I'm Shemitic. That don't even make sense. How can I be something that I am? It doesn't correlate together. But that's just the pestilence, the earthquakes, and we see the earthquakes happening. The news don't talk about all of them, but they got apps that let you know when an earthquake hits and how strong it hit. And all this stuff is happening in diverse places. Wow, we good. All right, read that for me in Job 5.
Job chapter 5 and verse 19.
Come.
He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles.
Yep.
Yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee.
And no evil is going to touch us if you found doing what the Most High wants you to do. Keep reading.
Verse 20.
Uh-huh.
In famine.
In what?
In famine.
That was one of the things Christ was talking about, famine in diverse places. What we going to do with famine?
He shall redeem thee from death.
Yep, we ain't going to be walking around dead and hungry. Why? Because we practice fasting. You need to start practice fasting. Don't wait till the Day of Atonement to fast. Practice throughout the year. Keep reading.
And in war.
And in war, wars and rumors of wars, what shall happen?
From the power of the sword.
He's going to deliver us from that. He's going to redeem us from that. But keep reading.
Verse 21.
Uh-huh.
Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue.
People ain't going to be able to talk bad about us. Oh, look at them over there, this and that. We hid from all that stuff. Just like how Mashiach was hid in the midst of them, in the midst of teaching them, they turn around and try to find him, but what happened? He's gone. Where did he go? We was talking bad about him, but he just disappeared from the scourge of the tongue. But keep reading.
Neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh.
When destruction comes, we're not going to be afraid of that thing. We're going to be able to look at destruction and laugh. But keep reading. Let's see if it tells us that.
At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh.
We shall what?
Thou shalt laugh.
Why are them Israelites over there laughing at destruction and famine and people out here dying? Why are they doing that? That's not right, Israelites. You shouldn't be doing that. God loves everyone. Well, God just told me in Job, we're going to laugh at those things. He just told me that ain't going to touch us. But Luke also said we got to watch and pray that we be counted worthy to escape those things. How are you counted worthy? By letting your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and praise your Father that's in heaven. Well, what is the light? Keeping the commandments. Everything goes back to doing what the Father told us to do. The children that went into that fire did what the Most High told them to do. And they was able to walk through the midst of the fire to where their clothes didn't even smell like fire. And guess who was with them? The Son of Man. So we got to get right and get on these laws, get on these statutes, get on these commandments and start applying them to our life. So when that stuff happens, we can be counted worthy. Keep reading from the King. 22.
Verse 22.
Kahan.
Neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth.
And the beasts of the earth are the other nations and also animals. I know y'all might say, dang, why is he calling the people a beast? Because that's what they are. That's what they is, I should say. They are beasts. Christ called them dogs. And as we know, dogs can't enter into the kingdom of heaven. The scripture says so. But they make a movie saying all dogs go to heaven, though, huh? All dogs go to heaven, part 1 and 2. If you didn't understand part 1, we're going to show you again in part 2. Dogs can go to heaven. Wait, huh? Really, Walt Disney? That's how you doing it, huh? That's how Walt Disney rocks, though. They don't care about the Most High laws. They can care less. I bet you people never put the 2 and 2 together. People never put the 2 and 2 together that dogs do not go to heaven. Well, why would he bring out that? Why would the scripture say dogs can't enter into the kingdom of heaven? Because the other nations are considered dogs. Should I prove it?
Go.
I'm going to prove it. Matthew 15, 24. This is going a little bit off topic, but I got to prove it because I said it. The scriptures say prove all things. So we about to prove it tonight. Matthew 15 and 24. You got it?
Come.
No, not 24. Start at 21. Go up a little bit.
Matthew chapter 15 and verse 21.
Uh-huh.
Then Yahushua went thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Sidon.
That's African nations, but keep reading.
And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast.
Came out of the same coast, meaning that so-called African, a person that looked just like him, black. Keep going.
And cried unto him.
Cried what unto him?
Saying, have mercy on me, O Yahweh, or O Lord.
Yeah, read it as it is, yeah. Have mercy on me, O Lord. And this is what the people are saying. This is a woman from the land of Canaan. Have mercy on me, O Lord. And what?
Thou son of David.
She knew who he was. She knew this is the son of David. Keep going.
My daughter is grievously vexed with the devil.
Surely Christ will do something because a devil was in this lady's daughter. Son, did it say son, Salaki? Yeah, no, the daughter was grievously vexed with the devil. So a devil is in this lady's daughter. Surely Christ is going to do something about this, right? But what happened?
But he answered her not a word.
He did what?
But he answered her not a word.
Not sweet Jesus in the New Testament. This is the KJV Bible. We ain't make our own Bible. But he answered her not a word. He was quiet about the situation. Keep reading.
And his disciples came and besought him.
Now, the people that's rocking with Christ came to Christ about this woman and said what?
Saying, send her away.
Do what?
Send her away.
Not the disciples. Why would the disciples tell Christ to send her away? Surely they know we got to teach everyone. Love all men, right?
For she cried after us.
Us. They let you know she's crying after you and us. She can't get nothing from you, so she messing with us. Send her away. Let's see what Christ said. 24.
Verse 24.
Uh-huh.
But he answered her and said.
So since this woman is begging and pleading, Christ turns to her and says what?
I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So Christ literally just said, woman, I'm not sent but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. I'm sent to my people. I'm not sent for you. Keep reading.
Then came she and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me.
She didn't take that as a no. Lord, please help me. Keep reading.
But he answered her and said, It is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it to dogs.
Wait a minute, what? He said it's not good to take the things for the children of Israel and give it to a dog. What you think her response was? Don't call me no dog. Now this is what most nations, this is what people do today. I'm not that. Why are you saying that? Jesus loves everyone. Let's see if she responded like that. Let's see how the lady responded.
And she said, Truth.
She said what?
Truth.
She said, you're right. You should take what's for the children of Israel and give it to me, a dog. But she had game though. What she said on next?
Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table.
She understood. Can I get a crumb from my master's table? She's calling the children of Israel masters. She's calling them gods. Can I get a crumb then? All I need is a little crumb. Just a little bit. And what he said?
Then Yahushua answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith.
Pause. Great is the faith, meaning you understand that these are your masters, just like I am their master. That's faithful. Now the nations that are faithful and fall in line, guess what they get? Now this is where the confusion come in at as well. When they say other nations can be saved. No, they can't be saved. But they get a spot right there. This is your little area. You stay right there and you worship the children of Israel. What's lucky? You worship the Most High through the children of Israel, while the children of Israel worship the Most High through Hamashiach Yahushua. There's an order of things. There's a pecking order. Because right now, the children of Israel is not in rulership. Because surely when the children of Israel are in rulership, the nations rejoice. They are happy to see us as their masters. That's why scriptures say 10 of them will grab the coattails of a Jew. This is prophecy. But keep going.
Be it unto, verse 28. Be it unto thee even as thou wilt.
Okay, you got this little crumb as you would. Rock with it. Because she understood her role in her position. I am a dog. Now let's see, can they enter into the gates? Revelation, towards the end, 21, and verse, please, 8. Where is that? Is it 22? 22 and 15. Shalaka, 22 and verse 15. The last book of the Bible, in the last chapter of the Bible, chapter 22 and verse 15.
Revelations, chapter 22 and verse 15.
Start at 14 first, brother.
And verse 14.
Come.
Blessed are they that do his commandments,
that
they might have right to the tree of life.
Blessed are they that keep the commandments, that they may have the right to the tree of life. And what?
And may enter in through the gates into the city.
But keep going.
For without are dogs.
Are what?
Without are dogs.
One more time.
For without are dogs.
So without them city gates are dogs. We went through the whole story of that and let you know dogs cannot enter into the kingdom of heaven. It's just that simple. If they want to be man's best friend, meaning the Israelite's best friend, hey, now you wonder why the people love dogs so much. You're trying to make a way for them, but it ain't going to happen. Let's go ahead and get back to the class at hand. Petulance, what you got? Come on. Oh, the dog licking the crumbs. Hey, I just had to peep what you put up there. The dog's eating the crumbs from the master table. Truth, Lord. Because dogs do eat crumbs from the master table. That's why she had enough sense to say, I want the crumbs. Because this is how many blessings are supposed to come upon the children of Israel. So much that stuff trickles over and falls to the floor. To other nations, ooh, look at that. Ooh, look at that. This is the other nations doing that. We're supposed to be sitting at the table while the nations are under the table. But everything is flip-flop. Everything has some flip-flop. But these are some of the things you need to look for towards the end to come. Let's jump back. Matthew 24 and verse 10 through 14.
Matthew.
Jump it down. Yeah.
Chapter.
Hold up. Yeah, let's do that. Verse 10.
Matthew chapter 24 and verse 10.
Come.
And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another.
And we should not hate one another. But I'm going to touch on that love aspect in a minute. But now verse 11.
Verse 11.
Yep.
And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many.
Pause right there. Because that's another script we need to pay very close attention to. Because, and many false prophets shall rise. What is a prophet to begin with? That's what we need to understand. And how do we know if they're telling us the truth or a lie? Let any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of the Most High. You don't have to change nothing. You can say it literally as the Most High said it, word for word. Example, dogs don't enter into the kingdom of heaven. The other nations are looked up as dogs. Now, just to prove it a little bit further, Isaiah, I know you're trying to find precepts. Isaiah 40, verse 17. Just to further illustrate that point. Because I'm about to go to a prophet, because it's a false prophets. So we're going to go by what a prophet said about the other nations. Let's see if I'm making this up, or is it true? Chapter 40 and verse 17. Read.
Isaiah chapter 40 and verse 17.
Uh-huh.
All nations before him are as nothing.
Are as what?
As nothing.
Can't get no simpler than that, but keep reading.
And they are counted to him less than nothing.
Now, how can you be less than nothing? This is the prophet Isaiah speaking. All I got to do is speak the words of the prophets before me. And if you know scriptures, he's going to send us teachers, some apostles, some prophets. But what are all these different positions? Servants of the Most High. And what do a servant do? 49 and 5. Let's stay in Isaiah. Now, I could have went to another precept dealing with the Most High shows that these nations are nothing and been counted to him less than nothing. And they was created to be our servants, but that's in Ezra. We ain't going to go to that prophet, though. Let's just keep going in what a servant is supposed to do. Isaiah 49 and 5.
Isaiah chapter 49 and verse 5.
Come.
And now, saith the Most High, that formed me from the womb.
He formed every person from the womb, but he formed special people from the womb as well. Keep going.
To be his servant.
To be his what?
To be his servant.
Everybody is not a servant of the Most High. But let's keep going.
To bring Jacob again to him, though Israel be not gathered.
He's supposed to, a servant of the Most High is supposed to bring Jacob again to him, a.k.a. watchman, a.k.a. suffer not sin upon thy brother. You see your brother going off, warn him of the Most High. Stand up for the Most High in this wicked world. Keep going. 5. Though Israel be not gathered. Though Israel be not gathered.
Though Israel be not gathered. Yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of the Adawan.
And we're going to be glorious in the eyes of the Adawan. Why? Because we're doing our due diligence. We go out there and stand on them corners. We keep the high new moon. All the rest of the new moons. The Sabbath day. Passover. We keep these days. We keep all the laws to the best of our ability and knowledge. And if we see somebody that's not doing it, bruh, you know you're supposed to be keeping these laws? The same way, if a brother see us not keeping them, guess what he should do? Brother, you're not keeping them laws. This is brotherly love, and that's what I'm touching on next. Let's get back. Matthew 10. So you got to understand what a false prophet is. And we're going to touch on that too, what prophets is. I'm going to do a class just on that. So every class or person, when you put classes together, you really go over scriptures that a person has, but then in the midst of that, you can see other classes form because we need knowledge and understanding on these scriptures. Everybody don't know what an angel is. An angel is just a messenger of the Most High. The children of Israel are angels because we're supposed to be bringing the message of the Most High to the people. That is an angel. So when you read in the New Testament, it's talking about even if an angel came to you and spake not according to this word, cast them away. Don't deal with them. Who you think an angel? Be aware, because you might be entertaining angels unaware. All these different scripts, because guess what? The Most High sent all kind of angels out into the earth. Righteous angels and wicked angels. There's no fallen angel. There's no angel that said, hey, I don't want to do what you say do. I'm going to go do what I want to do. There's no angels out there doing that. Only man did that. Once did you say, man, I made angels and evil and wicked continually in their heart? Nowhere did you see that in the scriptures. It said man did that. So why man want to make angels like him? La-ah. But believe it or not, we're going to be able to judge angels. What that mean? You're going to be able to judge your brother. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Let's dive back though to Matthew 24 and 10. No, verse 11. Salaki.
Matthew
11 again, and then we're going to 12.
Matthew chapter 24 and verse 11.
Come.
And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many.
And to deceive somebody meaning you are a devil. That's why we always sit up here and say, do not take our word for it. Go study for thyself. Show thyself approved unto the Most High. A man that not need be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. 2 Timothy 2:15. Get on your study game. Do your due diligence. Keep reading for me, King.
Verse 11. Verse 11.
Come on, you can do it again.
And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound.
Because what shall abound?
Iniquity shall abound.
Because sin shall abound, meaning everywhere you turn and everywhere you see, you're going to be seeing sin. Don't be like those people. Don't follow a multitude to do wickedly. Stay with the Most High. Do your duties. Stay in these scriptures. Build yourself up. Keep reading.
And the love of many shall wax cold.
The what?
Love of many shall wax cold.
And that's why I'm about to go into brotherly love. Because the love of many shall wax cold. Now, this brotherly love I'm about to give, we about to go ahead and hop to that subject real quick. So I can touch on a couple of scriptures there. No, before I hop there, finish that off. Finish that off and read verse 13 for me.
Verse 13.
Yep.
But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
One more time.
But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved.
So why is Christians walking around now talking about they're saved? Why the preacher man never read that to him? Because sitting in that church house, that's where you're being deceived at. They call themselves prophets and prophetess, pastors. They call themselves somewhat teachers. You have Sunday school and sit up there and get lied to. And not one time have some...
Chapter 1 and verse 6.
Huh.
When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying...
What did they say?
Adawan, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel?
Wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom of Israel? Now, mind you, there had to be a kingdom of Israel once before. When was that kingdom of Israel established? When did Israel reign as a kingdom on earth? Or as they say, heaven on earth. When was that time? I'm not going to tell you. I know when it was. Tune in Friday to Elder Lapalau's class going over the history of the children of Israel. There's information in there. He will touch on that time period. Because they let you know again. So obviously it had to be before for them to say again. They understood the history of Israel, and we should understand the history as well. So tune in to Elders, or Slaki, Bishop Lapalau's class. He's the elder here at LOZ. Elder Priest Kahan is one of the elders as well. But Elder Lapalau got the Friday class. And he goes into the history of Israel. But read verse 7 for me, King.
Verse 7.
Uh-huh.
And he said unto them,
What?
it is not for you to know the times or the seasons.
And that's the same thing we heard in Thessalonians. It's not for you to know that. But why should I have to write on you and tell you that? But what?
Which the Father hath put in his own heart, in his own power.
But read verse 8 real quick so we understand that.
But ye shall receive power after that the Holy Spirit is come upon you.
And you shall receive that power until the Holy Spirit comes unto you, and where at?
And ye shall be witness unto me both in Jerusalem and in
my other brothers that are in different camps. Because at the end of the day, we got to come together as one. We can still have our differences in doctrine in a sense, but we prophesy in part because we know in part. And the elders of these schools, we already understand this. But those that are not in the class, you ain't going to get that kind of understanding. Because you literally got to come sit down in the class, because when the camera is off, scriptures keep going. We keep dealing. Questions come up and we answer them questions and going over these scriptures. But let me just get this one scripture real quick. Where is that? Let me turn the page here. Luke 23 and 12. To understand this. Because we about to dive into brotherly love, but as we know, because we don't see eye to eye on certain things, but we still got the Masharah Yasharallah. We got the Maccabees Alliance. So you got different camps. The government of camps come under the flag of Israel, under the Mar Yasharallah. The Zakari, Nation of Kings and Priests, here at the Light of Zion, House of David, MYMG, them brothers over there in New York. HOI, you feel me? AOI, as y'all like to call us, the alphabet boys. But you don't understand, we see eye to eye with each other. Even my brothers in Tampa, the Tampa prophets, I talked to that brother the other day. We don't see eye to eye on every doctrine, but we still trying to get with each other and break that bread, show love with each other. And that's what breaking bread is, coming together with your brother and eating with him, showing the love. Are you willing to lie down your life for your brother? How hard are you willing to go for the Most High in a Mashiach Yahushua name? Or are you just out there doing it just for show? So we come together and do this. So people that's on the outside, and another song, the internet prophets that be on the internet in all caps, they prophesied on the internet in all caps. I had to say it twice because he said it twice in the song. That's all I'm saying. Read that for me, Luke 23 and 12.
Luke chapter 23 and verse 12.
Come.
And the same day, Pilate and Herod.
Pilate and Herod, go ahead.
Pilate and Herod, or
yep.
Herod, were made friends together.
They was made friends together because of what?
For before they were at enmity between themselves.
They was at enmity between themselves, but because of her Mashiach Yahushua, we got to come together about this. These are two Edomite nations coming together about an Israelite man. Keep going.
And Pilate, when he had called together the chief priests and the rulers and the people,
yep,
said unto them,
what he said?
Ye have brought this man unto me as one, and behold, I having examined him before you, have found no fault in this man touching those things whereof ye accused him.
Now pause right there. Now they know if you just literally made this statement and you say you ain't found nothing wrong with him, why you still now go to the people, okay, the day y'all set somebody free, this man or this man, why you going to choose Barabbas? Barabbas, or however you say his name. That don't make no sense. But the main topic is that verse 12. Pilate and Herod came together. There was enmity between them. They was at odds with each other. But when it came to him over there, we got to connect. And the same thing, this is the message to my brothers. Even though we might be at odds with each other, we got to come together because we're against them over there. We all have that understanding. What you got?
What's that saying? The enemy of my enemy is my friend?
Kind. But the thing is this. Love thy enemy. They're not our enemy. We got that saying from the Edomites. Because they literally will look at you and stab. They stab each other in the back. They stab each other in the back. So if they stabbing each other, what you think they're going to do to you? Mind you, it just told us Pilate and Herod was at enmity with each other. They are the same nation.
Brother had a question about that too. Matthew 5:44.
Five.
You say who is that talking about?
Oh, Khan. Wait, what did it say? Let's read it out. Akim, I was wondering if I can get a breakdown on Matthew 5:44 and who Yahushua was talking about. Now, mind you, I think I did a class on that. Who your enemy is. I did a class on that a couple of Wednesdays ago. On who your enemy is. Now, as you know, I'm going to just do a brief summary on that. You got it already? Read that for me.
Matthew chapter 5 and 44.
Uh-huh.
But I say unto you,
Yep.
love your enemies, bless them that curse you,
Yep.
do good to them that hate you.
Hold up. Let me see something. I think I want you to start a couple of verses above it. Let me get that. 5:44, he said. Start at 39.
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 39.
Huh.
But I say unto you,
Uh-huh.
that ye resist not evil,
Yep.
but whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also.
Now, mind you, in the midst of this conversation Christ is going through, who is Christ talking to? He's talking to Israel. It's the reason why he's saying this. Now, let's go back to Deuteronomy 28. Because Christ knew certain things was going to happen. So he's already given us a warning before it even happened. Deuteronomy 28, I believe, 54, Con. That's it.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 54.
Yep.
So that the man that is tender among you,
Uh-huh.
and very delicate,
Yep.
his eye shall be evil towards his brother.
His what?
His eye shall be evil towards his brother.
Your eye is going to be evil towards your brother. This is a prophecy. So Christ is letting them know, even at this time, you can't do that. Your eye is going to be evil towards your brother. Don't do that. Don't be evil towards your brother. Keep going.
And toward the wife of his bosom.
Yep.
Bosom. And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
Now let's go back to Matthew 39. So this is why Christ is even making this statement. Christ understood the prophecies written of. He knew this stuff had to come to pass. And now in this day and age, we just read earlier, sin shall abound and the love shall wax cold. The love for our brethren out there is waxing cold right now. We don't look out for each other like we should be. One of the troopers in here was just going over how our sisters get messed around with at a young age. That's going to have to be another heavy class we deal with. We can't do these things within our nation. So when people read that, they take it out of context and think it's talking about the enemy out there. No, not the other nations. We don't care about the nations right now. We got to deal with ourselves first. How can we go love somebody else if we can't love each other? But keep reading in Matthew 5.
Matthew 5 and chapter
39.
verse 40.
39 again.
Okay. Matthew 5 and 39.
Come.
But I say unto you,
Yep.
that ye resist not evil.
Yep.
But whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also.
Keep going.
And if any man will sue thee at the law.
At the what?
At the law.
The other nations are not keeping our laws. These are the key things we look for in the scriptures now. If any man sue you according to the law, because mind you, in our laws, through the Old Testament, you handle the situation certain ways. You done took this from me, now you got to pay back twofold for that. But what Christ told us on that?
Verse 40.
Come.
And if any man will sue thee at the law, and take away thy coat,
yep,
let him have thy cloak also.
So if any man is suing you for your shirt, give him your jacket too. Dealing with your brother. Keep going. 41.
Verse 41.
Uh-huh.
And whosoever shall compel thee to go a mile, go with him twain.
So if your brother's asking you to go with you 1 mile, go with him 2 miles. Hey, I need your help over here to do this. Don't be like, oh man, dang man, come on man. You can't treat your brother like that. Come on, I need your help. You got to go help your brother. But this is how we treat each other. We don't treat each other with compassion no more. Our eye is evil towards each other for no reason. Keep reading.
Verse 42.
Uh-huh.
Give to him that asketh thee.
Yep.
And from him that would borrow of thee, turn not thou away.
So if somebody's asking you for something, give it to them. Don't be like, no, this is mine. You can't have that kind of spirit in Israel. Charity covers a multitude of sin. Now, mind you, we could go over all the different scriptures because even in the Apocrypha, they talk about lend to a godly man, keeping the laws, and not an ungodly man that's not keeping the laws. Something is going to happen to you because of that. You got to make sure when you give somebody something, you let them know what this is for. Because our people are in a low state. And a lot of those that are on the streets in this low state, a lot of them walk around on drugs. We can't help feed their drug habit. I'm hungry. You hungry? Come on, let's go get something to eat. No, I just want the money. Wait a minute. Hold on. What you mean you just want the money? You just told me you hungry. I'm about to go buy you something to eat. This is what Paul talked about in the New Testament as well. How you come to a person and he cold, but you don't give him a blanket. He hungry and you give him the words that here, be filled, bless you, and walk away. But you ain't do no works now. You ain't put forth no effort to help this brother out. Love can't wax cold within our nation. We literally got to put forth this work now. What precept you holding?
There's a precept for verse 40. It says, and if any man will sue thee at the law.
Yep.
And you mentioned the heathens essentially weren't given the law. So this is 2nd Ezra, chapter 3 and verse 36. Thou shalt find that Israel by name hath kept thy precepts, but not the heathen.
Not the heathen ain't going to keep these laws. The laws was only given to Israel, also according to the Psalms. What you have for me, King?
It's about what you mentioned about charity and helping our people on the street. I usually find myself a conflict because I know that Precept talk about helping someone that's not on the laws. But how do you know who to help based on what? Because they're homeless, and you want to help them, but I don't know how to help them.
The best way to help them sometime, and that's where reading that spirit comes into place. If you can see, because brothers that came in front of the school before, hey, I need help, man, this and that. It was wrong, brother. I literally dropped him off at home, did all kind of stuff for this brother to wear. We in here doing one new moon. This dude went into my vehicle and sitting in my vehicle, drinking a bottle. I'm like, what is you doing? They thought it was me in the car, but he's sitting in the passenger seat. So I'm like, when they told him, I'm like, what? Went outside and looked like, bruh, come on, bruh. What I told you before. I tried getting this brother a job. He didn't want a job because I just happened to have a job where they damn near hiring any and everybody. I'm telling you, get here a job so you can build yourself up. I help you build yourself up. I can pick you up from work, drop you off at home, whatever you need. Now the brother, again, I see him in my neighborhood at one point. Hey man, take me to the store. I'm like, come on, what I told you before. You got to start keeping these laws. You done came in here, sat down in here. You know what you got to do. You know what you got to do. I done told you. We done sat and had long conversations leaving here a couple of nights. One day he telling me to drop him off somewhere, and I'm dropping him off, and I'm like, dude, that's a dope. I'm not dropping you off right there, man. I know where you're going. You act like I'm not from around. I'm from around here. I know what a dope hole when I see it. You're going to have to walk there now if you decide to go there. I'm not about to drop you off in front of a dope hole. People know I'm out here teaching the word, but yet I'm dropping somebody off at. Why would you put me in a position like that? And that's but I'm trying to be lenient with the brother. So next time he come through and kept coming through, I need this, I need that. Come on, bro. It was another brother that came out here. He done came out here twice and tried talking to different people, not realizing, no, we're the same people. We're the same people. You dealt with Chief, and Chief brought me out there so I can see you, so I remember. And now I'm standing outside doing security. Now he walked back up like, oh, really? Come on. What did you do? Because again, we got brothers, and that's the thing. You have to read the spirit. We'll give. Sometimes we done gave people money and be like, hey, don't get drugs with this. This is not for drugs. You got to understand who the Most High is. We done been out teaching. People done said they're hungry. Okay, we want to feed you 2 times. What do you mean? You go stand over there and listen to the word. and I'm going to go buy you something to eat. Now, I reach in my pocket and go buy them something to eat, but this is the thing. Oh, can you buy something from this Chinese restaurant? What you want from the Chinese restaurant? Oh, I want some pork fried rice and oh no, I'm not about to buy that. And I said, you telling me you want to make me spend my money with the Chinese man? No, I'm gonna go spend my money over here with these black people over here. Excuse me, y'all. I understand y'all in here selling pork, but I don't want no pork. I need some of that good chicken over there. I need some. Oh, look at Ak right there. The chariots must be outside. Shalom, Ak. Shalom. Shalom. Yeah. You go up to the black restaurant, and in the midst of getting them food, what y'all doing out there? Now I get a chance to feed them in on what's going on. Yeah, they hungry, but yeah, they been standing out there for a minute. Y'all just about to buy them something? Like, yes, we about to get them something. But you got to listen to this word first so you understand where is this coming from. It's not us that's giving you this food. This is the Most High. You know now you're being marked. Understand what you got to do.
Yeah, a lot of times they come through my work and they're hungry, they got no place to go, and I okay, I'll get you something. I'm paying for the food they get me. Next time they come in, they go straight to the liquor section, buy beer.
And this is the thing.
I mean, they come back like an hour later, oh man, I'm hungry. Man, you just bought alcohol. What? You're not hungry.
Exactly. But our people are in a dead state like this, where you'll put your, cigarettes and beer. You'll put your God, cigarettes and beer became their God. I understand you in a low state, but you don't have to drink every day.
Yeah, I just know how to help them because they do come every day.
They're going to come every day.
Yep. 7 o'clock is when we sell beer. And I keep sitting that same.
You can't help them no more.
Both of them last early to strong drink. Every morning, on the dot in the line, 7 o'clock.
So, you know now, you can't help them brothers out. You can only now give them the good word. You got to change your life. Can you help me out? Give me something to eat? No, because don't get nothing to drink today. When you stand in this line 7 o'clock, let me see you go the whole day without drinking no beer. Let me see you use your money other than some beer. Go buy some chips. Now, every time I see you after a week, you can do that for a week. Okay, now we can work with each other because you're willing to help yourself. Now I can help you. But if you're not willing to help yourself, how can I help you? We can't operate like that. Because now we become a, what's the word? Enabler?
Yep, fine.
We can't I can't even use it in a sentence now. We can't be that enabler. We can't let them keep falling down because we're going to keep, okay, here you go. Because they try to take the kindness and try to use it against us now.
Yeah, a lot of times because I'm driving to work or from work, down on the highway, I always stop right in front of them and give them a change I got, or if I have food, it's water. But I just feel bad that I can't do more to help them. That's the issue.
But this is the situation we've been put in. I would love to win the lottery, and on 7th, they got a house, rooming house for them to come live at. But you know what you got to do? They got rules in there. Yep. Before you come in here, take this drug test. Before you come in here, let's see if you're drunk on alcohol. What did you do today? How did you spend your time today? Did you just leave here, go out there, and just sit around? Understand, and I wish I had something that I can find work for them. Now, I hate to say it, but a field. I hate to say it like that, but we all need food. But if we had somewhere where they can go out there and work with their 2 hands, and okay, now you're feeding yourself. We can take that same food you just helped grow, bring it to this building I just got built for y'all to stay at. You got the roof, you got good food because you grew it yourself, and you know it's healthy for you now. I got enough field where we got a couple of goats and lambs out there. Hey, make sure this lamb stay good for the Passover. There's ways we can try to put this together, but all of Israel got to be willing to do this.
Yeah, the truth was talking about that. There's a lot of people that just want the handout, but don't want to work for the handout. They want to just have the handout, not do anything for it.
Come, what you got, Asher?
And it's late night, like I'm heading to work, and the dude walked up to me with his girlfriend. He's like, "Hey man, can you spend me a couple change? I'm just trying to get by, stuff like that." And I told the brother, I looked at my coin, anything. I didn't have much. All I had was a couple pennies.
I already know. Don't do this because you did that to yourself twice now.
This the time.
Oh, this the same stuff?
Yeah. And then I gave the dude. I was like, listen, I don't have much change. Here's this change I got for you. I gave him change. He looked at the change in his hand, looked at it, and threw it on the ground and walked off. No. This what he did though. See, I had to say that. I ain't going to talk about it. Sit down, please, sir. I'm not even going to bring it up. I'm not going to bring it up. We'll talk about that off camera. Let's get back into the scriptures. Keep reading down. Matthew chapter 5, 43.
Matthew 5 and 43.
Yep.
Ye have heard that it hath been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy.
And that's the key verse right there. Thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thy enemy. Let's talk about the scriptures. Now, he just gave you two aspects of the law. That enemy was somebody that wronged you of your own nation. How we know? Because love thy neighbor. Hate thy enemy. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Where's the mercy at? We got to have mercy on each other. Just the same way Most High have mercy on us, we got to have mercy on them. Come on. Exactly. We can't do that. Just to prove it real quick, Matthew 6 and verse 14.
Matthew 6 and 14.
Come.
For if you back at the top. Matthew 6 and 14.
Yep.
For if ye forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you.
Verse 15.
But if ye forgive not men their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses.
And that's the key aspect right there. You have to forgive your brother. Have mercy on your brother. We understand that thing I used to do back in the day. I used to be a thief. Scriptures say, you can't steal no more. Go ahead and work with your hands so you can have to give to a man that needeth. That was a scripture that stood out to me once I started diving into these scriptures. Like, what? Now, I always work, but yeah, I would try to get over. I call myself the modern day Robin Hood. I got over on other nations, mind you. I hardly would get over on my brother because that's my brother. It was already instilled in me growing up that you can't treat your brother like that. But those that, you trying to get over on me? Okay, I'm going to get over on you first. I would do that to a brother because I see the wickedness in you. You want to try to get me? Okay. Now we play that game. I'm going to get you before you get me. That's being honest. That's James 5:16. Confess your faults one to another. Pray ye one for another that ye may be healed. Come out of that wickedness. That's a wicked thought to have about your brother. That's a wicked way to move around in this world. We can't move like that no more. We got to, if you out teaching this word especially, you should be teaching about yourself. You want to teach on your experiences. When you teaching on your experience, guess what happens? Anything you say, you putting yourself in that situation. Okay, I can't do that. I'm saying it, so I can't do that no more. I'm in that situation. The person you might not see, you talking about them, talking to them, but you bringing up situations they might not know. You talking about yourself. But and that's where it escapes a lot of people at, meaning I put myself in this situation. I didn't have to tell you I put myself in this situation, but I did. Because this is going to be coming now. It's going to be more sincere coming from me, knowing that I done walked in them shoes. I know what you're going through because I done did it. Exactly. I'm telling you from experience. And guess what? I got out of it, so can you. You don't have to be out there doing that. Huh?
So you can still use the nations though, right?
No. I know we can use them for usury, but that's dealing with lending them money. I give you 100, I need 150 back. Yeah, you can do that. The banks do that now to us. Yep. So if you was to open up a bank, make sure, because mind you, Jewish people got banks. I'm pretty sure they don't lend to their own people like that. But we come in there, okay, I need that 18.9%. What is called APR or whatever. Yeah, I need that 18.9 APR.
So if I clock out of work, you got an extra hour.
No, but that's stealing now. We're not supposed to steal from anybody. So that's where laws come in at, general laws. That's called getting over.
You can't get over it. And they also call that milking the clock. I know about milking the clock. I do that on the clock. I'm going to sit here because I've been slaving all my life. Damn it, I'm going to sit over here and relax. You ain't about that. I understand, but to literally go, bloop. All right, I'll holler at y'all. And then come back an hour later, 2 hours later, then clock out like you've been there. That's not milking the clock no more. You can lose your job because of that. Is it worth it? We in captivity. That's why a lot of brothers, like we was just talking about earlier, we trying to find revenues where we can make our own money, where we don't have to go punch the clock no more. We got some brothers that come down, they literally travel across the U.S. with their own business. And they opening up shop at little flea markets and stuff, little stores and little, what they call them, kiosks and stuff, and they sell stuff to where they can work for you. But darn, you just hit me in my whole back of my car gone. We might have to get the insurance involved. I don't want to, but you can't. I gotta get to it from work. I got kids. I gotta take them places. Oh, Edomite? Hey, I gotta get that. I gotta get that. I gotta get that because you in the wrong. And I hope you got insurance. Don't go nowhere. Yes, officer? Now, mind you, people out here, I don't want to call the police on my people. But that Edomite that was out there acting a clown, yes, officer, I have someone in front of my building acting a fool. I think he got a weapon, sir. That police officer pulled up. They was about to jack him up. You know what the Edomite had the nerve to say? Oh, but they don't like white people. I can care less what they like or don't like. I can care less. Why are you here? You're trespassing. God. Everybody standing out there, we looking at him like, God. One officer was about to like, oh, I'm about to. But he didn't react because, mind you, he told him to sit down. Give me your license. Your license is suspended, but let him drive off in his vehicle. So I'm like, what kind of? If it was us, though, beep, beep, you ain't driving off at nothing. You got to get. You feel me? But we understand that aspect so far. But still, got to do what we got to do. I don't want to call the police on my brother. I don't. I'll make that the last resort as possible, trying to call the police on my brother. Because that's my brother. I already know what these people are going to do to them if they get here.
So the reason you just said this now, so if you're in a situation with your brother and you had to call the cops, what would you do?
If I have to, I have to. I don't want to, but Darren, you trying to rob me at gunpoint. I don't have nothing. But then this is where the Most High come into play at. We got to use the Most High with wisdom and knowledge. Pray the Most High we don't get put in those situations. We can't leave the Most High out of none of these situations. That's our first go-to right there. That's why when we send out our prayers, keep us away from the fiery darts, from the pestilence and all this craziness that's out in the world. We're going to close out with Psalms 91 too. We're going to close out with that script. But let's get back into brotherly love real quick. John 15 and 10. Oh, but yeah, dealing with that real quick. That's why 44 said it was told us love your enemies. Your enemy is people out of your own nation. But more than likely I did a class on that. I hope you got it. I'm gonna have to touch on that one too. All right, Khan. John 15 and 10.
John chapter 15 and verse 10.
Khan.
If ye keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love.
Yep.
Even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love.
And that's the main thing. We got to keep the commandments so we can abide in the love of both. Keep going.
These things have I spoken unto you.
Yep.
That my joy might remain in you.
Uh-huh.
And that your joy might be full.
Yep.
This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you.
And that's the same thing. Christ is talking to the disciples. He's talking to the children of Israel. We got to love one another. Now jump down 2 John 1 and 5. We're going to be coming back to that, though. 2 John 1 and 5. Oh, there.
2 John chapter 1 and verse 5.
Come.
And now I beseech thee, lady, not as though I, but that which we had from the beginning.
Had what?
That which we had from the beginning.
So from the beginning of the scriptures, we had to do what? Keep going.
That we love one another.
That we love one another. That was at the beginning. It says lady, but lady also goes towards the man, our nation. From the very beginning of Israel, we were supposed to love one another. Nothing was supposed to change from that. We were supposed to steady love one another. Sirach 6:5. Yeah, just read 6 and 5 real quick. Then it's Sirach 11 and 29. Just going into friends and stuff, but I'm going to touch on this real quick.
Sirach chapter 6 and 5.
Yep.
Sweet language will multiply friends.
So, and that's what the class did when I did the class on your tongue. We should talk to each other proper. Don't just, hey. No, we now got to correct our speech as well when it comes to this love thing, loving your brother. Go ahead.
And fair speaking tongue will increase kind greetings.
So just to touch on something real quick, dealing with my ARC up north at the other school, Tampa. We discussed it briefly, and that's why even in this class, I'm dealing with the other camps as well. We shouldn't be calling each other out online. That's not a good speech we should have in our tongue. Whatever doctrine we hold fast to, teach that doctrine and keep it at that doctrine. It don't have to go no further than that. I don't have to call you out. It's nobody's business. We should have each other numbers and deal with each other over the phone because we know each other. But that pride thing gets in the way a lot of our brothers and our sisters. We can't have that. We got to exit that out of the Most High congregation. That got to be cut out. That's that old man. And a lot of us still stuck in our old ways, not realizing it. Because we've been doing it for so long. It's hard to be at an age of 40 and now you want to try to change up. Like that, it's a mission. It's a work at it. Keep going, verse 6.
Be in peace with many.
Be at peace with me. You're supposed to be at peace with your family. There shouldn't be strife going on amongst us. Keep going.
Nevertheless,
yep.
Have but one counselor of 1,000.
So don't be trying to get counsel from everybody. You can have people you deal with, but out of all these 1,000 you deal with, make one of them your counselor. You don't got to run to several people. Let them in on your business for one. Because as the scriptures say in other parts of the Sirach, you deal with money finances. He's not good with money. Am I going to go to the one that's good with money and try to get finance advice from him? No. You shouldn't do that. You should not do that. He don't know how to utilize money. I heard it, but I ain't going to say nothing. That one say, yeah. That's wrong. No. No. You deal with people who you know, he's an expert at that, so I'm going to deal with him because he's an expert. Nathaniel Allah knows about that health food. Deal with him on the health food. You can't go to a fat person talking about, hey, how I work out. Ain't going to work. It don't work out that way. But have one counselor out of 1,000. Now let's go back to, I'm done with that. Sirach 11 and 29.
Sirach chapter 11 and verse 29.
Come.
Bring not every man into thine house.
Yep.
For the deceitful man hath many trains.
A deceitful man will have many trains into your house and literally into your situation. You must first prove that friend, and that's going to be the next class I deal with. Friends and dealing with each other as we should be dealing with each other, how to pick out a good friend. So you can't deal with deceitful man and not knowing he's deceitful. You done brought him into your situation, and this dude got many trains on him. He can take your stuff any which way he decide to. That easy to deal with the congregation as well. That's why the scriptures let us know we got to make sure we mark those who's causing division in the body. We supposed to be a body in here. Everybody supposed to have their function. If the function ain't working right, I got to do something about that. I might have to get rid of it. Put something there in this spot. But it ain't us getting rid of it. It's the Most High getting rid of it. It just came up top. Now we can see it. It's a boil. We got to get rid of it. But we still treat each other with love at the end of the day. Now, go back to John now. 15 and 13.
Second John?
No, First John. Not first. The regular book of John. Regular book of John. Yeah, St. John. 15, chapter 15, verse 13.
John chapter 15 and 13.
Come.
Greater love hath no man than this.
Now pay attention to this. Greater love have no man than this is what?
Then a man lay down his life for his friends.
That a man does what?
Lay down his life for his friends.
Same thing can go be put. You can put any camp name or any school name you want in these different spots. Who are these people and who is that? But keep reading. Verse 5. But ministers.
But ministers, by whom ye believe.
And that's all we are. If you believe in the Mashiach Yahushua, we are his ministers. That's it. But keep going.
Even as the Most High. Even as the Most High gave to every man.
Yep. Keep going.
I have planted.
Yep.
Apollos watered.
So when people go on YouTube, they look at LOZ, then they'll stop and look at Sakar, then they might go look at IUIC, then jump back to ISUBK, look at AOI, look at HOI. You're going through all these different people.
Yep.
All it is one planting and another man watering. Because we all standing out there on them blocks. You might be down here on Florida vacationing on South Beach. You might hear LOZ and IUIC talking to you. You go back to your hometown, New York, and now here you go with ISUBK talking to you. Dang, you can't escape Israelites now on the block. Everywhere you go, you in Canada and Israelites up there. You in the Bahamas, Israelites over there. You trying to go to Disney World and have fun. You at the fam game trying to have fun. Israelites out there letting you in on it. But keep reading.
But Yahweh gave the increase.
Who gave the increase?
Yahweh gave the increase.
That's who's going to give the increase at the latter end. Because we were sealed. Meaning everybody understanding is gone. And now we waking up, understand most people out there are still asleep. The Most High is going to wake them up whenever he chooses to. Keep going.
Verse 7.
Yep.
So then, neither that planteth anything, neither he that watereth.
So the person that planted and the person that watered, we're nothing. But what?
But Yahweh that giveth the increase.
Keep going.
Now, he that planteth and he that watereth are one.
We are one, and that's what we got to get back to. We're one in this thing. Masharah Yasharah. That's the oneness. Maccabees Alliance. That's the oneness. Keep reading.
And every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor.
Read that again.
And every man.
And every man, go ahead.
Shall receive his own reward.
And every man is going to receive their own reward. Not because of this person or that person, but because of you. What did you do? Keep going.
According to his own labor.
Read verse 9 now.
For we are laborers together with Yahweh.
We are laborers together with the Most High at the end of the day. And this is the main thing we got to have when we out there teaching. Keep going.
Ye are the Most High's husbandry.
We are the people working the field for the Most High. Keep going.
Ye are Yahweh's building.
And we are his building as well, because we're trying to build up the Most High's army. We out there trying to bring Jacob back again. Keep going.
According to the grace of Yahweh, which is given unto me, as a wise master builder.
That's it right there. But understand this according to the grace that he even gave to us, that we're able to go out there and teach. It's his grace why we're able to do this. Nothing else. Last script, Mark 9:38. Because this is Mark 9:38 is the same thing what Paul was just talking about right here. Because Christ already talked about it. You got it?
Come.
Read that for me.
Mark chapter 9 and verse 38.
Come.
And John answered him, saying, Master, we saw one casting out devils in thy name.
Master, or I see them brothers over there with such and such doing this and such. Keep going.
And he followeth not us.
But he ain't with our camp. He ain't doing what we do. What should we do? Keep going.
And we forbade him, because he followeth not us.
And they out there telling the man he going off. You going off. You shouldn't be over there. You should be over here. But keep going.
But Yahushua said,
what he said?
Forbid him not.
Do what?
Forbid him not.
Don't talk about them like that. Let them do them. Keep reading.
For there is no man which shall do a miracle in my name that can lightly speak evil of me.
Now we all out there for a Mashiach Yahushua. All of us.
And we're not speaking bad about him. That's something we all agree on. A Mashiach is the so-called black man for the children of Israel. You can't find one camp that says otherwise. You might be some different, 12 tribe chart is not real, and all this and all that, and this is, but you ask them, you believe in the Mashiach Yahushua? Okay. Who is he? Who is he for? All of them going to say, he for the Israelites. Mm-hmm. But who are the Israelites? Then they're going to try to go somewhere. No. We're going to stay right here. Mm-hmm. Who is the Mashiach Yahushua for? What color was he? Done deal. There's no need to go no further. Are you willing to lay down your life for your brother now? You might not believe he's your brother. Hey, at the end of the day, the Most High is going to let everything be known. Keep reading. Is that the last verse? Yeah. One last verse. Read that. 40. Where you at? 40. Come on.
Verse 40. For he that is not against us is on our part.
So it's not thy enemy, thy friend. It's he that's not against us is on our part. Now, if you can agree on that one part of Mashiach Yahushua, because this is who it's for, to give the Most High his glory. It ain't for the glory of man. I don't do this to glorify myself. I constantly tell people, I am a tool, so we can't get mad at Nick Cannon for doing what he did. He was a tool used by the Most High to get somebody to spark something up top. Mm-hmm. Israelite, you the Hebrew, black people, what the? Yep. Let me see that. We gonna look that up. Yep. But then, in the midst of that whole conversation, we got Professor Griff talking about Salaki. That Bible's fake. He gave his number out in that interview. You know what I might want to do? Boop, 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 boop. Hey, I can talk to you. I ain't coming with no malice intent or nothing. Why do you believe what you believe? What could make you, did you ever read the Bible before? You know what he's going to tell? He has. A lot of people that say they done read this Bible. Oh, I done read it. Okay, I can read Chinese, French, and Spanish. That don't mean I understand what I'm reading. God. I can say the words all day. Hola, ¿cómo está usted? Do that mean I understood what I just said? Knowledge and understanding. That's what we got to build ourselves up to receive that. In order to do that, guess what got to happen? We got to be on one accord. One accord. We got to love each other. Every man that's out there teaching and every man that being here, guess what you got to be willing to do? Lay down your life for your brother. If you're not willing to do that for your brother, do you really love me? Can I really look at you and say, what's up, my Lord? What's up, a Mashiach? Because we're supposed to be a Mashiachium. This is what the scriptures say. I ain't taking nothing from our ultimate Most High. I mean, the ultimate Lord, which is a Mashiach Yahushua. It ain't taking away nothing from the Most High. Christ already said that. I came to do his will. That's it. Count me nothing. Put it all on him. Count me nothing. I'm pulling it on them too. Same thing. I put it back up the chain of command. I'm going over what the scripture said. That's that. Study for thyself so you can come up as well. Go out there and put that work in. Make your election sure. Mm-hmm. This is what it's about. Brotherly love. We're going to read 2 scriptures going out then. And with that, I'm going to say, any questions online? Any questions online? Give you a chance. Oh, you changed the name? The water. Let's go down the names. Let's see what we got. Go to the top for the king. Omar, Shalom. Eric Pratt. Yep, the video started. I saw that before we got started. Shalom, King. The water, Aqua Barrel, Yeshua. And that's another thing I got to bring out. You see how she spelled Yeshua? We say Yahushua. But don't get mad at your people because they speak writing in a different way. The new way. Don't let that be a stumbling block for us. And that, I'm talking to all Israel right now. We can't let these things be stumbling blocks for us. You got to understand and read past that. First name means power. El. I can understand that. That second part, I understand she's trying to say Yahushua, Joshua, Hamashiach, Yahushua. I understand that. So once you grow in the spirit, you can understand and see these things. That'd be stumbling blocks for us. Shalom, Daryl Carlson. Shalom, Bruce Kahan.
the Water King. Jamal Fleming, Shalom. Ephesians 4. Thank you, King. Yep, Ephesians 4, Captain Bet. Who's that sister? What's that say? You going too fast. I can't read that fast. Yeah. Yeramya Yasharala. What are you doing? You keep going up and down. Barzal, huh? Wait, what is that? All dogs go to heaven. That was you?
Yeah, they talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
It comes up. And they have a movie called All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up.
I understand what it means now.
Yeah, they trying to make themselves go to heaven. They ain't gonna happen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had it right down.
What that say for me, King? Napalm? Napalm. Shalom. JK. Shalom, King. Khan. All right, I answered it for you. Cool. Jaden. Shalom. Graydon. Shalom. Young Dope. Shalom. I'm only 16 and I watch you guys and I learn more and more every day. The water, King. The water. All praise to the Most High. And I got Captain Lion Paw on deck. Shalom, King. But I'm going to give y'all a little bit to see if you got some questions. Give you a chance to ask a question. Give you a chance. Nobody got no questions. I'm about to close out this class. We're going to have another midweek Wednesday wisdom class. I call it midweek wisdom. You feel me? It's all in love for the Akim, though. All in love for the Akim. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Let me get to the monitor, get ready to roll this shofar. You want to read
Psalm 91?
Psalms 91 and Psalms 133. I'm going to do Psalms 133 first. If there ain't no questions, Amanya Wapanya Hakadam. Rise and face the east or Jerusalem. Let me grab it. I don't want to go off memory. There you go. Blow the shofar for the children of Israel. Hallelujah.
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 Who's the power?
Yahweh's the power.
Who's the power?
Yahweh's the power.
Bahashem.
Yahweh Shai.
Bahashem.
Yahweh Shai.
Kan. Psalms 133 and Elisha 1 Kodash. Repeat the Hebrew. Shayar. Ama'agwa. Ladawad. Ana. Ma. Tawab. Nayam. Shabaf. Akim. Gum. Yakud. Kashaman. Hatawab. Ayil. Hara'ash. Yara. Ayil. Hazakwan. Zakwan. Aharan. Shoyara. Ayil. Paya. Madawafua. Kato. Kamramran. Shoyara. Ayil. Hariya. Tazyawan. Kaya. Shem. Tazyawa. Yahweh. Af. Haraka. Kayayam. Haibalam. Bahashem. Hamashiach. Yahweh Shai. The water. Them yad. English King.
Psalms 33. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head, that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garments, as the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Most High commanded the blessing, even life forevermore. Bahashim, Hamashiach Yahushua, the water of Yad,
Amen. Psalms 91 for the prayer over the children of Israel, the repentant and unrepentant. Hopefully the unrepentant can call upon the Most High's name, coming back to their wisdom and knowledge and understanding of who they are, and they can start keeping the commandments and facing Jerusalem and calling on the Most High's name in all humbleness. Psalms 91.
Psalms 91.
Come.
He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Most High, He is my refuge and my fortress. My power, in Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler, and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made the Most High, which is my refuge, even the Most High thy habitation. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For He shall give His angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and adder. The young lion and the dragon shalt thou trample up under the feet. Because He set His love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. He hath known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. By Hashem, Mashiach Yahushua, the water of Yah. Amen.
Amen. Get a Most High hand. The water for everybody tuning in to another Wednesday Wisdom class. Our next class will be held Friday at Bishop Shalamah class, going over the history of Yasharallah, Israel, through the scriptures. Next class will be held, the class after that will be at 11 a.m. doing the Hebrew class, going over that with Big Judah, going over the Hebrew, what languages they speak. When you, Most High willing, you can make it to the homeland and go over that knowledge and understanding. And after that, as you know, is our Shabbat service. Sunday, we might have the Spanish class going on. Or if not, we off rip, we got the one class that evening going over the Levitical priests speaking in the Creole, bringing that knowledge out. And with that,